We're part of a generation that requires you to have an online presence, especially if you have a business or a brand that relies on public support. To scale up and get customers' attention, you have to take it a step further. And at times, that's when the media comes into play. Whether it be for a TV segment or a social media post, you have to be confident when you show up. As nervous as you might be, you can't let the viewers and followers see you sweat. In this video, I'm giving you 3 tips to help show up confidently for your next appearance or upload. My first tip for being confident online is to do what mom and dad always said: practice. Practice makes perfect. I advise my clients to practice in front of the mirror so you can see how you look visually. Record yourself so that you can hear yourself. You can hear all of the ums, the ahs, the crutch words that you use, and get them out of there so that your message comes across smooth, your delivery is confident. It's so important to practice and make sure that you hone down your message. So when you go out and you're at a family function or you're at a business networking event or you're just talking with friends, practice your message. Get your brand down, get your service down so that you can say it confidently and you can say it quickly and get it out to people and let them know what you are doing. So I know Iverson gave it a bad rap, but practice is so important. Make sure that you practice your message and get it out there confidently. I am such a believer in writing things out. I'm a writer, so I believe that you should write it out. It helps you to organize your thoughts, get it down on paper so you can visualize it. One trick that I use is to do bullet points. I don't think that you should write it out and then try to memorize it because it doesn't come across authentic. It doesn't come across natural. But if you have bullet points with keywords that sort of jog your memory on things that you want to hit on, it will come out naturally to people. So if you can, well, you should be able to write out your messaging. I have notebooks all over my house that I write things out so that it helps me to organize my thoughts and get them out there and keep it succinct and to the point. To be truly authentic is very simple. Just be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't put on a whole persona. Don't be fake. If you're shy or if you kind of fumble things or whatever, it's okay. That's who you are. And people will realize that and accept you for who you are. If you are trying to be somebody else or pretend to be how somebody else that you've seen on social media is, it doesn't come across as natural. It comes across as fake. I'm not interested in what you have to say because you're trying to be like someone else. So to be authentic is to be yourself, whatever that might be. Of course, work on it. You want to have a polished delivery. You want to have a great presentation, but don't try to be something that you're not. It will always translate on screen. Even though you think it doesn't, it will. Be yourself. That's the best advice I can give you. Social media is a beast, and I understand the attraction. I understand the obsession. I understand the addiction. But if you are consuming too much social media that it's affecting how you are behaving, or if you're comparing yourself to people, or if it's bringing your spirit down, you need to cut back on your social media consumption. One thing that I like to do is to program it in my phone. I say, okay, you know what? From this time to this time, I'm going to look at social media, and then I'm off of it for 24 hours till the next day, till when my phone says it's okay to do it. Then I'm giving myself permission to go into that world, watch what I have to watch, follow who I have to follow, comment, like, etc. Be social, but I'm not letting it overtake my time and my life. I like the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, you should be focusing on you. You should be focusing on the things that you need to do to progress. 20% of the time, you can look at other people and what they're doing, get ideas, draw some comparisons in a healthy way, take some time to reflect, but you don't want to spend a lot of time focusing on the other person. You need to focus on you and what you're trying to accomplish. Don't let social media consume you. Control it so that you can use it to benefit you instead of bring you down. Imposter syndrome is when you think you're faking the funk, basically. So when you think that you shouldn't be there, that maybe somehow you got in this room by accident, or you're there as a token, or somebody kind of helped you there when you shouldn't have been there instead of being there on your credentials. And you don't want to fall into that trap. If you've done the work, if you know your subject, your product, your service, your expertise, if you know what you're doing, you deserve to be there. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. So imposter syndrome is something that a lot of women fall into, a lot of people of color, racialized people fall into that trap because they think that because maybe they're the only person who is a woman in the room or who is a different ethnicity that they shouldn't be there. But that's not the case. If you've worked hard, as I mentioned, if you've done the work, you deserve to be there. Don't let anybody else tell you differently. My final words, my last words of wisdom to you comes back to my first words of wisdom to you, which is to practice. It's so important and it will help you tremendously in honing your message down, getting it down to a fine art. When I first started my business, I wasn't quite sure what it was that I was doing, what my services was, what my whole concept was, but I kept talking about it to people and taking out little pieces, putting in little pieces until it was perfect, until I could say to people confidently what it was I did, what I was about, why you should use me, and what my background was. And I could do that in about a minute easily, maybe a minute and a half. But you want to practice that as much as possible so that you, again, can speak confidently about what you're doing. So you're not humming and hawing about what you're doing. And then the person believes in what you're doing. So I would say the overall message in this whole video is to practice. So I would love to hear from you. What are your tips, your suggestions for building confidence online? Leave it down in the comments. Let's work as a community to help each other and, build that confidence together. You can also check out my past videos right here on my YouTube channel. There's lots of great advice on how to access the media, how to present yourself. Make sure you take a look at those. Head to my website, fkbmedia.com, and you can download my worksheets that will help you as well. They go along with a lot of the videos. And when you're there, go on the last page, sign up for the newsletter. That goes out once a month. There's lots of great stuff in there. I give out discounts to events that I'm working on. There's my blog and that's in there, different videos, what my finance experts are doing. So it's a lot of great information. Sign up for that. We don't spam you. Once a month, you find out what's happening with fkbmedia.com. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at FKB I do a lot of fun things, a lot of fun reels, a lot of great information. So make sure you hit me up there. I will try to follow you back. Okay, I promise. In the meantime, be well, work with purpose, and I'll see you next time.